Okay, so hey everybody, my name is Shania, and this video is basically gonna be on how Pickmeishas are made. First of all, let me give a shout out to Shira7. Of course, she has changed my life. I originally started watching Shira7 when I was a teenager, but then stopped because things got a little too heavy once I realized that I was in an environment full of dust. And so I was like, this lady can't be right. So I stopped watching. Either way, fast forward a couple of years later, should have kept watching. Let's just say that I should have kept watching. But this video is going to be mainly on how Pickmeishas are made. I want to start off by saying Pickmeishas are made by the distrust of other women. A Pickmeisha has been betrayed by either a maternal figure, someone in her family that's close to her who she thought she could depend on or who would keep her safe, and realized that that wasn't the case at all. Confirmation. A lot of Pickmeishas have jealous moms, have jealous people surrounding them from a very young age, whether it be jealous of their body, as a former Pickmeisha, I can completely understand because I've always had body since I was younger, and a lot of older women, unfortunately, some, not all, are intimidated by looks, youth, light, and how people respond to you or how they're magnetized towards you. So, how the journey of a Pickmeisha begins is betrayal by a maternal figure. And once you are betrayed by a maternal figure, you in turn internalize that because you're either not celebrated, your body isn't praised, your quirkiness or just who you are as a person is put underneath a microscope. On a consistent basis. This isn't just a one-time thing. This may be, having to cover up going around your grandmother, especially at an early age where you couldn't control what you wore, what you eat, who you was around. You had no control, right? So Pickmeishas are necessarily made from women who figured out that there's other women who are getting their bills paid and all this other stuff, and it's too late for them. It's too late for them. Or so they think it's too late for them because they're in a marriage as either a single parent, a single person, or they're in a dynamic with multiple children, and not married, but living underneath, what is it called? Common law marriage, I believe. Common law, not martial law, right? I don't want to say the same thing. But yes, so this video is just to transform your mind and to kind of get you out of that, it's a hard world, Trump is in office, DEI, how are black men, or how are certain demographics, or how is this man supposed to survive? So let me start by saying this, right? I came from a 30-year marriage in wedlock. I was planned, okay, in this house. My father bought this house for my mom, okay? So let's just start there. If a man cannot survive on his own and he has family that's alive and well, like my father told me, his family believes that, his support system believes that his bloodline should not be passed on. Confirmation. Listen. And I will give you this. Some men are jealous of their own sons. So they don't want to, or so fueled by jealousy. Okay, so we're back. Like I was saying, some men are jealous, just like women, of their son's youth and access to certain ages of women. So they, in turn of setting their son up for success and giving them skills or being in their lives, they essentially leave them for dead. I hate to say this. A lot of parents essentially leave their kids for dead because they're seeing that the life that they're affording their children was a life that they wish they lived. Is that right? No. It's dead wrong. So I know there's a lot of videos out there that's about, don't be a Pickmeisha, but this one is kind of with you. Like, I had to realize what I was doing. Why did I feel bad for grown-ass men who were able-bodied with family members, with living parents? You know what I'm saying? If a man does not want to support his own son, that is, a legacy and a bloodline that you don't want to be bringing into this world. And that could go for both ways, right? Vice versa. There's so many people, and I'm not saying that people don't come up from messed up families. People come from families that are abusive, that are crazy, that are like some horrific things have happened to people within their childhood that was surrounded by family and choose to go no contact. So this video is for women who are in no contact, who can't trust women, who can't, who can't basically, who are so male-centered because of feminine betrayal, right? Maternal betrayal, which is very easy to do when your mother is the main breadwinner. You not only do you feel betrayed by your maternal figure, you then in turn betray yourself by leaving your feminine attributes behind because your masculine side was more accepted versus your feminine side. And that's because either your mother or whoever you was dealing with a dusty and she couldn't be in her feminine, so therefore, and so on and so forth. It's generational, right? Which is why men who cannot survive in this world, this day and age, without going 50-50, should not have their bloodline passed on. That's just how I feel. Not everyone deserves to be a parent. Not everyone deserves to be a wife. Not everyone deserves to be a husband. Does everyone deserve a chance at life? Absolutely. But if you're in this realm and you're trying to bring in more life by taking from others and not doing your job by natural order, you do not belong here. That's demonic to me. That's just me. Okay? Let me take my whistle. Hallelujah. Okay, so how do you heal this? How does years and years or being in an environment where you're surrounded by women with different standards or different, congratulations, ding, 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 you're the generational curse breaker. Yay! No more poverty in your bloodline. Seriously, I told my mother this. I will be single and childless for the rest of my days before I go and split any bills or be with a man who does not want to be a protector, a provider, a father, and a husband. I refuse to, and I know that some dusties and I know some Pickmeishas are going to be very, very, offended by this, but get your money up. Be smarter. It's simple. It's literally, I truly feel as if like a lot of people don't like to use their brains nowadays. By the way, I have a BS in chemistry. Clock it. Okay, because I use my brain. Okay, my brain. So a lot of people don't like to think for themselves nowadays. ChatGPT can be a curse and a blessing at the same time. I truly feel like people don't want to use critical thinking skills, don't want to use their brain. A lot of men feel as if like, or a lot of people feel as if like, because they weren't taken care of to a certain point, or how they think they should have been taken care of as a child, they go out there and then they project it onto other people. And a lot of, and this is just from my experience, men, because I haven't dated women, so this is why I'm strictly speaking on men, is because a lot of men know that, feminine energy is eternal. It's forever. It goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on. The thing between your legs is a portal to the ethers, as Shira 7 would say, okay? So a lot of men know that that's natural abundance just by just walking around. And a lot of men can't stand that, So they cling on, or they attach themselves to this light, because then it brings them up for a moment. It gives them a boost of high. But then once they realize that they have to be a certain person, they have to do a certain type of work internally, it becomes something that then is an object or a target of destruction. So if any young ladies are out there, please listen to me now. Please. This is about your self-worth, right? This is the name of this channel. You are worthy of all that you desire. You are not worthy of what people have done to you, what people have told you, projected onto you, their perspective of you. None of that shit matter. I know it's hard to hear. It really doesn't. It doesn't matter. Because when you let someone's perspective determine who you truly are, you give them power of a god. You given a human flesh, someone who's in flesh, who crucified the most perfect man. I'm not religious, but as the story goes, they crucified him, right? He was perfect. You'll never be perfect for an imperfect world, right? Don't let nobody tell you, oh, you only got one family, you only got one person. They knew that you was their only son or daughter. They knew you was their only cousin, aunt, brother, sister, nephew, grandparent. They knew that, okay? And they still chose every day that you got up, every day that you was in their presence, every day or every time, they still chose to show up and be the person that's not supporting you, that's projecting on you, and that's fearful of who you are, of your beauty, your magnetism. So don't let a woman who was so desperate to be picked tell you that you have to lower your standards in order for you to have a man. Because let me tell you, no man is going to lower their standards for you unless he's absolutely desperate and in need of a place to live, stay, or just life force energy to feed off of. It's not always a person is a physical bum, an emotional bum. He could be a spiritual bum, aka a warlock that siphons your energy. Because he knows that and that's another thing, when you despise the feminine energy, you will never be abundant. You can never be abundant. You know how, in some old scriptures and texts, especially with the sigils and symbols, that's a whole nother story. Men will worship goddesses to be protected in war, to protect their family, to be abundant, all of this. And you can find all this, I'm pretty sure Shira has talked about this 11 million times. She's been had a YouTube for years. So she'd go more in depth than that. But if you want to stay here, stay here. Okay, let's love you. Kiss. But yeah. Don't let someone, and it's very hard, right? It's very easy to say if somebody's controlling what you eat, what you wear, the roof over your head, the temperature, they're controlling all this around you, right? I completely understand that. Use it to your advantage. Alchemize it. Alchemize it. For instance, I had a friend who, her mother and grandmother and even aunts were all Pickmeishas. But they love to spend money on her. They love to take, Like, they would buy her anything in this world, but she just could not go to them for advice or relationships. Okay. Upgrade your wardrobe. What she would say? Light colors, dresses, flowy, close to mermaid, the seashells, the earrings, the perfumes, the be seen without being seen. When you walk into the room, let a man smell you, let people smell you, let them hear the clicks of your heels, you know? So it's like, use that to your advantage. It's so much you can do with your life right now to get yourself out of the situation. I also recommend you go to Master Manifestor's page, Olivia. She's really good far as, you know, reworking your self-concept, because when you're around or born from a narcissistic family or a family of haters, and you have that light, 9 times out of 10, you have to change your whole self-concept. And you have to take your power back. Excuse me. But that's the most wonderful part of it all, right? You get to take your power back. You get to write your story. You get to control the narrative. You get to laugh at people on their face. Like, for instance, if someone says something to upset you, pause. Like Shira says, pause for a second. And sometimes you just gotta laugh at that shit. Like, you really, excuse me, like, you just gotta laugh at it. Like, you just gotta, like, okay, I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing. And here's another thing, too, that I carry around that keep people away from me. Bam! I got my camphor, my garlic, my cloves of garlic, cloves, salt, hot foot pepper. This keep everything away. Every low vibrational, every invisible on any plane, realm, time, energy, powers, and principalities that be away from me. You hear me? And I also work with Archangel Michael. So, shout out to him. And shout out to Saint Expedite. Love you, boo. Anyway, but you have to be protected spiritually and emotionally. Because 9 times out of 10, what happened to you back then, when you was a child, it's because you weren't spiritually protected. Clock it. Confirmation. You weren't spiritually protected by the people who was supposed to protect you. So, confirmation. So, therefore, my dog is barking. That's the confirmation. So, therefore, when you don't feel protected by those who were here before you, who was around you, supposed to love you unconditionally, you don't like that type of gender or person or specific ethnicity. You get triggered by it. You get triggered by it. Your mother was supposed to protect you, a black woman. When you get older, you probably not going to date black women. You probably not going to trust black women. Vice versa. You probably going to hate. It all comes from betrayal. You were betrayed by someone who was close to you. That's how Pickmeishas are made. Betrayal. And it's not all the time. Some Pickmeisha actors just taught generationally. The girl ain't got to be betrayed, but she's just taught that, hey, eventually this man is going to turn into a child financially and mentally. He's going to have his midlife crisis mistress. You going to have to step up and be a good slave here. And pay half of the bills here. Okay? And make sure that it's a roof that stay over you and your man's head. Because he can't do it by himself. Because master, his oppressor, won't let him get his foot up off it. No, it's his daddy who don't teach him. And the reason why he probably don't have his daddy is because the mommy didn't make sure she had a house in her name and shit in her name before she got pregnant. She had one of these and a Happy Meal and let him slide. Anyway. Hallelujah. You don't have to be a Pickmeisha forever. Level up yourself. Work out on yourself. Do glamour magic. Call your power back. Clean through the divine. Through your creator who allowed you to be on this earth. Who allowed you to wake up and see this video today. Call back your power. Put niggas in jars if you have to. Carry your protection. Spiritual and physical. Okay? And be emotionally and mentally fortified up here. Ain't nobody walking on this realm got the last final say so. Don't nobody on this realm, on this playing field that you and I can see, know when your judgment day is. Do that. Unless you're a doctor and you're on hospice and you could call it. All right. But you get what I'm saying. No one can call your judgment day and time. They can't. They can't. And if they do mess around and clock it the right, trust and believe that motherfucker will be moved. Move it. Like, because God has a funny sense of humor. So that's just all I'm saying. You don't have to stay a Pickmeisha. You can always level up. You can love yourself. You can rewrite your story, rewrite the concept of yourself. If you've always been bullied, harassed, and left alone or not supported, now you're supported, loved, cherished, and congratulated and celebrated. Y'all be blessed. Love y'all.